All right.
Hello. Special guest numero 2 episode.
That's right. So, welcome to Dear Go Food Safety on our Lunchtime Lives. And as promised, I have a special guest today. For those of you who have not met him, this is my son, Benjamin. And he is Secundo, as we call him in the household. So, he's number 2. He's got an older brother and a younger sister. Anything you want to say about yourself?
Quistas mihi nomen?
Yeah, so he's studying Latin, and what on the curriculum for today for life coaching, we are talking about how I go about asking myself questions so that I can organize my mind. So yesterday we talked about your mindset, and we talked about the proofing box and how everybody wants to know the how, and I literally am in the business of the how for a lot of different things. Like I just did a live on the medical locker, right? And that's the how for how to get treatment space, right? But the reason I can do all the things that I do is because of mindset. And Ben's coming on today to talk about mindset. Because mindset and managing your mind is the single biggest asset that you build in your life, helping everybody manage your mind, as well as that families can get along. And so today what I wanted to do is I wanted to work with Benjamin so we could walk through the questions that I ask every day of myself around all sorts of different kinds of beliefs and that come up in my business and in my life. And the questions that I'm going to do, I mostly thought of sitting on airplanes, traveling, and they're super helpful for everybody, okay? And so what I want to do is I want to invite you into the conversation, understanding that the questioned mind is the kind mind, okay? So I believe this comes from the Buddha, either that or is a interpretation from Byron Katie from the Buddha. But when we question our mind, which is a lot of what we have been covering these past couple of weeks, when we question our mind, we can understand that what we are thinking may or may not be true. And that's basically where we want to get to, right? Because we don't model our way to being better. We just model our way to create awareness. Right, Ben?
Yeah. Actually, that's actually how it works. And you can tell it's true if it's coming from a 10-year-old also.
That's right. Okay, so my friend. So entering into this idea that the question mind is the kind mind, I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. So, what is there something that you're struggling with right now that you're willing to take to coaching?
The fact that it snowed yesterday and I can't go outside to work to earn money.
Okay, so it snowed yesterday. All right, you can't go outside to work to earn money.
Yeah.
Okay, and you want to earn money
so I can get a Nintendo Switch.
So you can get a Nintendo Switch, right? Okay. And so we're going to walk through, all right, and we're going to talk about the things that we want, all right? Because the W in water stands for want, all right? And the question is, what do you want in the world?
Presently a Nintendo Switch.
Okay, so Ben here is going to do, I want a Nintendo Switch, all right? I did this exercise this morning, and I want to build my belief in the medical locker. So you can really kind of do this for just about anything. All right, so Ben says, I want a Nintendo Switch.
What makes this go at the top of want is it literally has a want in it.
You're going to... Okay.
You don't have to.
Nintendo...
Mom, even I can't spell that correctly, so I don't care if you don't spell it correctly.
All right, so I want a Nintendo Switch. Now, tell me, Benjamin, when you want a Nintendo Switch, how do you act?
I act kind of stubborn and a little aggressive.
Okay. Stubborn. aggressive. So that's super interesting.
Because when I really, really want something, my mind's like, I will get this at all costs, no matter what.
Okay. Do you remember what we call that feeling? So if you turn in and face the truth of your feelings, if you turn in, do you know what that feeling is called? I want that at all costs.
Determined.
That wasn't the one I'm going for. How about over-desire?
Over-desire.
Over-desire, right?
Sort of like me in carbohydrates. I have an epic over-desire for those.
Tons of people have an over-desire for carbohydrates, right?
Like
if we were gonna...
bread, my pound cake, my cookies.
Right.
Pretty much anything else that's sweet and a simple carbohydrate.
Right. So, I want a cookie. Ask yourself, when you want a cookie, how do you act? Right?
Solve
and then
all your problems.
Turn and face the truth of your feelings. I mean, a lot of things like electronics in a household with kids, food, alcohol, scrolling through Instagram, all that sort of stuff, like, it comes from a fairly simple want, but look at how you act, stubborn and aggressive, and the feeling is over-desire, right? And so when you're, like, in this mind frame right here, what sort of evidence are you building about a Nintendo Switch?
The world's gonna turn itself over to make sure I don't get a Nintendo Switch.
Okay, all right. So it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you're feeling stubborn and aggressive, isn't everything hard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or, as I said it, the world's gonna turn itself over so I don't get it. So my face isn't
right. All right. And then your result is right when you're right.
And
No.
Switch.
Nintendo Switch, right?
You could have just put Switch, Mom.
I'm fancy. I can spell Nintendo. Sort of. Okay. So now
I'm not sure if that's how you spell Nintendo.
here's what I want to point out. Is we just diagrammed what the results of wanting a Nintendo Switch is going to get. Okay, hang on, just a second. I promise we'll turn that. But we got to. So then the question becomes, B-Man, if that's the result of wanting a Nintendo Switch, okay, I want a Nintendo Switch, and it leads to stubborn and aggressive, creates over-desire, like you have a lot of over-desire from this want. The world conspires against you to get a Nintendo Switch.
That wasn't my exact wording.
No, that's true. But and you don't end up with a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So, what do you think we could do in this model so that the result is get Nintendo Switch?
Well, I really have to think that would change with the W.
That's right. That's right.
I want a Nintendo Switch.
Okay. So I want a Nintendo Switch is not a thought that's working for you, right?
No, it isn't.
Okay. All right. So one of the things we can do is we can work from any line in our water model.
A line.
Okay. So this from your actions. Okay.
But don't work from the A line.
We don't usually work from the A line. This is what everybody wants to change. But unless you change your thought, all right, and change your feeling, your actions are just going to get you the same results, okay? Because your thoughts always create your results. So maybe let's start here.
At the T.
How do you want to feel?
Oh, how do I want to feel? I want to feel compelled, and I want to feel like I can get it without being like, I'll get this at all costs, no matter what.
So, confident?
Confident, yeah.
Confident? You want to feel confident? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. So, confident. Confident. When you're feeling confident, all right, when you're feeling confident, how do you act?
I act smart.
Okay, you do the work we ask you to earn the money, right?
Yeah. Okay. I do the work that I'm asked to earn
the work to earn. Okay, you're making you can't sit on that because you're making that move.
Sorry.
Do the work to earn the money. Okay, stand on your own 2 feet. Spent 10 months growing those feet. All right, versus when you're being stubborn and aggressive, you're like literally not doing the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're doing the work and you feel super confident, what evidence are you building about your Nintendo Switch?
I'm building the evidence that I can get this. It's not terribly hard. I just have to do the work.
This isn't terribly hard. Okay. Right? So this isn't terribly hard. Now, can you think of any sentences that create confidence?
If I do the... Do you mean from the W?
That you want. What could you say that you want that makes you feel confident?
I want to earn the money to get a Nintendo Switch. Would that be better?
I want to earn the money. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be able to earn money for a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
How about that? I want to be able to earn money for a Nintendo Switch. I want to be able to earn money for a Nintendo Switch. Okay. So if your want is I want to be able to earn the money for a Nintendo Switch, and when you want that, you actually do the work to earn the money because you're coming from a space of confidence, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're building evidence that this isn't terribly hard. What's the result that you're creating?
Getting a Nintendo Switch.
You're creating the result of creating the Nintendo Switch. Okay? And so that's how that works. And then the next question is, right? We have to, so when you change your thoughts, when you decide to change your thoughts, it's not something that happens immediately. Okay? Mm-hmm. And you got to reiterate and you got to figure out, don't lean on the table, you got to figure out how you are going to do this, all right, and what it looks like, and whether or not you have all the tools you need to create the result that you want.
In other words, you need to do a water, tribe, then light.
Exactly. Okay, so we figured out something that we actually want. I want to be able to earn the money to get a Nintendo Switch. Okay, so we put that up there as our problem statement. All right. So what you're trying to do is to, I want to earn money for a Nintendo Switch. All right, now stop leaning on my table. You're giving everybody car sickness who's watching. Okay, so I want to earn money for a Nintendo Switch. Okay, so Benjamin, when you think this thought, I want to earn the money for a Nintendo Switch, are you physically safe to think this thought? Okay, so you are physically safe. Are you financially safe to think this thought?
That's a good question because I want to earn the money. So I'm not 100% sure.
I would say you're probably not, okay? No. And this happens an awful lot. When we want to create a financial result in our life, it often comes from a sense of financial insecurity. And nothing is going wrong, okay? I don't want you to think that, oh my God, this is never going to happen because I'm financially insecure. To be financially insecure is to be human. I know people with epic, massive tons of money, they also still feel financial insecurity. It is just part of being human. Nothing is going wrong here. Okay.
I actually still am stressed out about financial insecurity, which is one of the reasons I'm doing this.
Right? Exactly. So remember, because the question mind is the kind mind. So, Benjamin, are you emotionally safe? So everybody remember this. S in Strive stands for safe. Are you emotionally safe to earn the money for a Nintendo Switch? You are emotionally safe. I would say the answer is yes. And the reason is because we did that water model first, right?
And you actually should have used the blue for the water model because that would just been ironic.
Well, we used the intentional model. Okay. when you were here and I won a Nintendo Switch and you were stubborn and aggressive, were you emotionally safe?
Nope.
And in over desire? Not
No.
emotionally safe, right?
I was not emotionally safe with capital N-O and a capital N-O-T.
No emotional safety. Okay, great. All right, so now, Benjamin, the T in Strive stands for trained. Are you trained to earn the money for a Nintendo Switch?
No.
You're not. Okay. All right.
Not that that'll stop me.
Right, because sometimes we get our own training by doing, right? All right, so do you respect yourself enough to earn the money for a Nintendo Switch?
Yup.
Okay. So the R in Strive stands for respect. The I in Strive stands for invest. Time, talent, and treasure.
Yep.
Have you invested the money, or have you invested in your time, talent, and treasure to earn this money?
Yes.
You have. That's
Yes.
true. Because you've earned money. You haven't earned all of it, though.
No, I'm $200 in.
Yeah, so you haven't earned all of it. So we're not quite there yet on
Just put a check mark, Mom.
time. All right? Because it's going to take more time.
Yes.
Do you value earning the money for a Nintendo Switch?
Yes.
Yes.
I value it.
Are you empowered? So the E in Strive stands for empowered.
Yup.
Are you empowered
To earn it? Yup.
to stand in fear and discomfort and failure to earn your money for your Nintendo Switch?
How did I know my mom was going to say that? Yup.
It's almost like I use this all the time. Okay. And the reason we have empowered is because, and this is actually a really good thing to point out, and I'm really glad we're doing this, is Ben has been trying to earn the money for a Nintendo Switch since before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Since before Christmas. You're still trying, right?
Yes, and I failed 400, 500 times?
Right?
Which is as much money as I need.
He really is empowered to stand in fear, discomfort, and failure because he will always come back to us and say, okay, I know I haven't earned the money yet. I know I haven't earned the money yet. And he will try things and he will say, I earned money for that. And we're like, maybe you didn't. But he's willing to fail forward to make this a reality, right? Okay, so now, and this is just gathering information. So there are 8 questions in Strive, all right? And we have, we've got 5 things that are working. So what's working? And what's not working? We've got 3 things. So we've got a 5-to-3 ratio. This is pretty normal, okay? Life is full of mixed emotions. Life is full of mixed thoughts because we're human beings.
I wouldn't count that as...
I'm counting that because you haven't earned the money. You haven't invested the time. Get your hands off. Okay, so now the question, now we go to the light model, all right, and see really where is this something we can live into belief in. All right, so now the L in light stands for look around because Mommy is fond of saying what?
You miss more by not looking than by not knowing.
Say that slowly.
You miss more by not looking than by not knowing.
Right, I say this like all the time. And it's not just because we're doing observations in the power group this month. Okay, so...
We're doing observations in the power group this month.
All right, so L stands for look. So when you look around yourself and you see, I want to earn the money for the Nintendo Switch, what do you see about yourself?
Awesomeness.
Right, that you're willing to do the work. Right?
In other words, awesomeness.
Willing and awesome. All right, so now...
It was always awesome.
The I stands for integrity. What does your integrity say to you about earning the money for a Nintendo Switch?
I haven't earned the money yet. I'll earn the money either way.
Okay, so your integrity is telling you I'm going to earn the money. Okay, so that's what your internal dialogue is saying.
My intentional internal dialogue.
Right.
My unintentional internal dialogue is like,
I know you're nervous. Slow down.
my unintentional nervous dialogue's going, oh my god, this is so hard, I really shouldn't do this.
Okay, so we have unintentional, which is, this is
So hard. And
so hard.
that I shouldn't be doing this.
Okay, and we have I shouldn't be doing this, which is a manual, you're right. Okay, So you have a lot of mixed things going on in your head. That's super interesting. And it's just something to note because that's what happens with our brains. Okay, we get 100, we get like 60,000 thoughts a day going through our brain, right? And so understanding where integrity is, saying to ourselves, I want to tell you your integrity can lie. Right? If your integrity is telling you you're worthless, your integrity is lying. And your integrity will tell you you're worthless.
That'll probably be your unintentional integrity.
Right, exactly.
Your intentional integrity will be, I am worth something.
I am worth something. Right. Okay. All right. So now here's a question for you. This thought, I want to earn money for a Nintendo Switch. Does this thought feel gentle to you?
No, it doesn't. It feels good, but not gentle.
Okay.
It's like just hard enough, but not too easy.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't feel gentle. And this is totally fine. Okay. Because I ask people, does this feel gentle? Not everything feels gentle. Like the example I use is if I'm going to go pull my kids out of oncoming traffic, that is not gentle. Okay, like, oh my God, my kids are gonna die, like, yank children back. Not gentle. But the next question is this thought helpful?
Is this thought helpful? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so in every way, shape, and form.
Things can be
unhelpful.
Gentle and helpful. Things can be not gentle and helpful. Not every thought we have is going to be gentle. It's fine.
You could switch these around.
Right? And something can be gentle and not helpful. Okay.
Like binge eating chocolate chip cookies while watching TV.
Right? This is good for me. Feels really gentle, but it might not be really helpful. Okay, or I deserve this. That's one that's super gentle, that's epically unhelpful. Right? Especially when we're talking about over-desire of chocolate chip cookies, or television, or alcohol, or any of those other sorts of things. Right?
Frankly, I'd be fine with just going fishing.
Okay, and so then T in light stands for trust.
Do I trust myself?
Does this thought build trust and credibility with you and with the other people who are involved in this issue?
I believe so.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I personally can't speak for you.
Right, but you can get a sense about whether or not you think that this is going to make an impact. That's all we got. Okay. Whether or not this is going to make an impact in the relationship that we are building together, right?
Okay.
Alrighty. So, my friends, this is what it looks like to walk through these questions, alright? And so I'm going to go through here, and I'm just going to tell you the questions one more time. Alrighty?
And this is coming from actual reality, not
right.
just an
We
example.
didn't rehearse this beforehand at all, did we?
Yeah. Nope.
No. And so I want to ask you before I jump back in and tell everybody what the questions are again, so that you can take notes, because I know we talk really fast. He doesn't get it from a stranger. Do you feel better? Do you feel clearer? Are you coming at your Nintendo Switch with more of a choice? Yeah. Okay.
It's much easier when you listen to a book while chopping wood.
Right. Well, there you go. Okay. So now here's how we do this. We always do a water model first to see if what we're wanting
What about
is
the craft model.
Pardon me?
Craft.
You're a craft model?
Books.
Oh, yeah. So all of this work, what Ben is saying is all of this work comes from the work of my coach, okay, where we model out the think, feel, act cycle. And I do that as well as this, but we're just doing these models right now, okay, because this is an easier set of questions, okay, and allows us to think more broadly before we hone in. So I always do these things first.
And then tomorrow or sometime we'll do the craft model.
Yeah, and I've done a couple of those. Okay, so water. We do water first to make sure that what we want is leading to the results that we want them to lead to, right? Okay, so the W in water stands for want. What do you want? The A stands for act. How do you see yourself acting when you want this?
And actually, that really should never come before thought or this.
It never actually does. The way your brain actually works is we think, we feel, and we act. But for most people, including 10-year-olds and 45-year-olds, it's much easier for us to observe our actions and then think about our feelings. Okay, so we're going to observe our actions and then think about our feelings. So when we observe our actions from this wand, all right, then the question is if we turn and face the truth of our feelings, what do we see? And a lot of times we're going to see mixed emotions here. I do this and I feel mixed emotions. So I did a webinar live on the medical walker today, okay? I'm thrilled to get it out there. I was so incredibly nervous to do a webinar, to do a live on it. And I literally go live almost every single day and have been going live almost every single day for a year and a half now, okay? But there were a lot of mixed emotions because there were so many thoughts, right? So then the question is what evidence? When we have a feeling around something and we're doing actions, we build evidence in our mind as to whether or not it's going to work because our minds are story-making machines. And when we're making up stories, that's building evidence. And the evidence is either it's easy or it's hard or this is going to work or it's not going to work or that sort of stuff. Okay?
This is a perfect example of it's going to be hard or it's not going to be hard.
Exactly. All right. And when we're feeling like it's going to be easy, the whole thing feels a lot lighter, right?
Yep.
Right? And then the R is that when we've built all this evidence and we felt all our feelings, what results are we creating?
So it ends in the same thing like Brooks' model.
Yep, because it's all about results. There are lots of ways to do thought work where we end up doing a lot of navel gazing. Not really a navel gazer.
Navel gazer?
I'll explain after this. Okay, so then we get into the Strive model. All right, and the Strive model is what I created for my clients when we were solving problems in food manufacturing. Turns out it's very useful in the raising of children.
Yeah. She also created this one and that one.
Yeah, I created all of these. All right, so in the Strive model, the S stands for safe. Are you physically safe? All right, are you physically safe to want whatever it is you want, whatever you decided with your water model? Are you financially safe? Are you emotionally safe? Okay, financially safe and emotionally safe is basic psychological safety. Okay, without those things, you can't do anything. All right, are you trained to figure out this problem, to understand how to turn your wants into reality, whatever it is? Are you trained?
My advice, don't lie to yourself about if you're trained or not. That won't get you the results.
Right.
Again, I can explain that from personal experience.
Exactly. Okay. So respect. That one's pretty easy. Do you respect yourself? Do you respect the process? Do you respect your teacher? Whoever, you can put all your stakeholders and respect around stakeholders in here. Do you respect? Okay. The I in Strive stands for invest. Have you invested the time, talent, and treasure in that order in order to make this a reality or change this or solve this problem, okay? Most people, I have found, try and throw money at a problem and nothing changes, okay? If instead we look at have we invested the time and talent to make sure that that money is useful, that's an entirely different question, okay? Time, talent, and treasure, it's written that way on purpose. All right. And then the V in Strive stands for value. Do you actually value solving the problem? I ask this question all the time. I ask myself this question all the time. Do I value solving the problem? I'm in the middle of this question right now with myself. Do I value losing another 10 pounds? I haven't answered yes yet. And so I haven't lost another 10 pounds. I kind of don't care. Right? So do you value solving this problem?
And as I said for the training, don't lie if you don't value it. If you don't value it, you don't value it, and you're going to need to be honest about it. Otherwise, you won't get the results you want.
That's absolutely true. All right, and then E is, are you empowered to stand in fear, discomfort, and failure in order to get your results?
Same thing as value and
training. Right.
Again, just don't lie.
Right. You've got to tell yourself this. Ben makes a really good point. It's super easy for us to lie to ourselves, but the only person you're talking to is yourself, unless you're talking to me as your coach. But if you're not empowered to stand in fear, discomfort, and failure, you're probably not going to solve whatever problem it is or create whatever result that you want, because creating results in the universe requires fear, discomfort, and failure. Okay? All right, and then we go to light. The L in light says, look around. When I have all of this information,
You miss more by not looking than by not knowing.
Right. When I have all of this information, if I look around at myself and what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling right now, having gone through this whole process, what do I notice? Okay. And then what is my integrity telling me? Is there anything else coming up is really what that is.
I'd like to say something. You need to also, before you do the intentional, you need to understand what your unintentional thought is.
Right.
So you need to understand your unintentional.
Right.
That is a must.
Right, because you got to know if you're sitting in should. If you're like, I should, or I shouldn't.
Or they should, or they shouldn't, etc. The list goes on and on.
Right, exactly. And when you're in that space, which we talked about yesterday, about your cauldron of should, this integrity really tells you that, but you got to really tune in and listen to your integrity, right? And then the G stands for gentle. Is this thought gentle? In the long run, the more gentle you are with yourself, the more likely you are to create the results that you want to create. Not everything has to be gentle to create results, but in the long run, it's going to be a lot easier.
Mine isn't gentle. It also isn't harsh.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of things are neutral. All right.
I don't like gentle.
Then H is helpful. Is what you're thinking helpful? Is what you're going to do helpful?
As I said, for this, and this, do not lie. Because if you lie, you're just creating negative emotions, and it'll keep not being helpful. And it won't be, and your thoughts about yourself won't be gentle. So it goes in a cycle of not gentle, not helpful, not gentle, not helpful.
Right.
Don't lie about being unhelpful or helpful.
Don't lie about your own thoughts to yourself.
Yeah. Like,
that's what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right? And that's if you take anything away from this, lie to yourself about your own thoughts, because it's neither gentle nor helpful. Nor does it do the T, which is build trust and credibility. So by doing this, are you building trust and credibility? First and foremost with yourself. Do you have your own back?
Don't lie about that one either.
Right? Do you have your own back? There are things that we tell ourselves that feel super gentle, like, I deserve this chocolate chip cookie, when you said you aren't going to eat chocolate chip cookies, and it doesn't let you have your own back. You actually destroy credibility and connection with yourself.
And if somebody said you couldn't have a chocolate chip cookie, well, you also destroy trust with them.
Right, you destroy trust and credibility. So, my friends, those are the questions I ask myself every day. I do those questions around all of my beliefs. My belief about myself, my belief about my products and things that I've put out in the world, whether it's personal or business, and then belief about the people that I am interacting with. And I do these questions every single solitary day. There they are for you. I'm here if you have questions. And I want to say thank you to my helper, Ben, for getting on live and doing coaching, which I think is super, super brave.
Sorry about shaking the table and probably making everybody car sick.
Oh, you did great. All right, bye, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. And tomorrow I am talking... Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Tomorrow I am talking about decision-making and protocol, so we can get an overview of it, because next week I'm going to talk about all the different ways I live in protocol. So... Anyway, all right, you're all amazing. Have a great afternoon. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.